Hello and welcome. It is Friday night. I hope if it's Friday night when you're watching that, well, you shouldn't be watching this on Friday night. You should be out. You're young people, I think, doing something, going to the movies, bowling, karaoke, having dinner, something. Not sitting in an Eikaiwa classroom like I am at the moment. I've just finished a fairly long day of teaching. My second to last day, yay, of substitute teaching. Some people are a little confused, like, why are you in this classroom and talking about stickers and shogakusei when you're a university teacher? Well, I get a pretty long spring vacation. My spring vacation started in mid-February and it lasts until almost April 1st. And, it's 6 weeks. Normally, not normally, but every other year I've gone home. I'm awfully glad I went home last year because it was really the last time I got to spend with my mom, unbeknownst to me at the time. But this year I stayed here. It's a lot of money to fly home, etc., etc. So, luckily, in a way, my friend wanted to take his family to see his home country, and he said, will you come and work at my Eikaiwa and teach for me? And so that's what I've been doing. One fun thing I'll just show you briefly. See this little thing over here with all the pictures? I've been making kind of a collage, as it were, and I've been using this new camera I bought. Did I show you this on camera already? So, this one's made by Fuji. I know there's a Polaroid one that's also very popular, and I think it's mostly popular with girls. You can get all kinds of decorated, like the border of the picture is all decorated differently. And they're very popular, I think, at weddings now, because you can just instantly, give each table, say, 10 pictures and say, here, take your 10, and then just turn them in at the end of the day. So here, I'll take a picture of you, my viewers, through the magic of thing. So you have a viewfinder, but it's almost, you don't even have to really look through it. And then you just click, and there's a flash. There's a few settings right there, but and then boom, it comes out, and it is like, shake it like a Polaroid picture. It is like an old Polaroid, and it takes about a minute and it will develop, so I'll show it to you in a minute. And the only thing is, the camera's not very expensive. This cost me about 7,000 yen, so that's about $70, and it takes a couple batteries, so it's very easy to operate, but the film is fairly expensive. Like full retail, I think it's like $10 for 10 pictures, but normally you can get it somewhat cheaper. Like the place I go to locally has it it's a double pack, so it's 20 pictures for like 1,300 yen. Comes out to be like 65 yen a picture, so 65 cents or so a picture. But they're instant. The kids can write their name right here. You can write messages, and the color's pretty good. The quality is pretty good, and they're actual pictures you can hold in your hand. So the reason I bought the camera is to use when I make, at the beginning of all my classes in the spring, I'm going to give out a card, not like this, but it's just going to be a blank white card, almost this size though, a little bit smaller, and it's going to have lines on it, and I have the kids write their name. These are my daigakusei I'm talking about now. Their name, their hometown, their hobby, what they like, what they don't like, their favorite sport, whatever. And then at the side, I was taking pictures with my Mac, photo booth on my Mac. But I don't have a color printer at work, and so I was printing them out, but they were kind of, black and white on regular paper, and so I wanted to do something that I could do in color easily. And this is the solution I came up with. But, of course, for 50 kids in a class, you do the math. What's 50 times 65 cents? I don't even know. But it's not $50, but it's probably, what, $35 per class or something to take a whole class worth of pictures. And so, do that times 3 classes. It's going to be about $100 in film for me to take pictures of all my classes. Obviously, iPhoto is pretty much free. But anyway, I'm going to try it. I think I'm going to like it. And, I like to do stuff like that. That's the kind of teacher I am. Okay, the other thing I wanted to talk about today really quick was I was cutting out some things from the newspaper to save, to use in classes. and I came across this story, which is really touching, and its missing daughter's letter arrives after 10 years. So basically, there's a shrine that you can go to. Let me see if they give you the name of it. I'm sure they do. She was working as a bus tour guide. Oh, it's got to give the name of the shrine. Yes. The Museum Meiji-mura in Inuyama Aichi Prefecture. Okay? So this museum has a service that allows letters to be kept there for 10 years before they deliver it. So you can write a letter. I mean, literally, she just hand wrote. Can you see that? She just hand wrote a letter. Okay? And you put it in a special mailbox or something, and they put, okay, today is, March 14th, 2014, so to be delivered March 14th, 2024. And they just save these letters and mail them to the address that you put on there 10 years later. So this girl did this when she was fairly young, and she got a job, and her parents, who lived near the tsunami disaster, Otsuchi Iwate-ken was really hit hard. They missed her, etc. So they said, please come back and get a job near us. We want to be with you, etc. And she was working in like the town office, and it ended up getting completely obliterated by the wave, and everybody died. So her parents felt, understandably horrible. Obviously, they felt somewhat responsible because they asked her to move back to be with them, and if they hadn't, perhaps she would have been in Kyoto or wherever she was working as a bus guide and would have been still alive. So then, just out of the blue, and they had no idea this was coming, she had never told them she had done this, on January 12th of this year, so 2.5 years or so, well, almost 3 years after the tsunami disaster, they get this letter in the mail, and it says, from Chie, your daughter. And they thought, well, maybe for a minute they thought maybe she's alive. Maybe she survived and just had amnesia or something. And here, but it's not true. They figured out that that it was written at this museum and mailed all these years later. And she just wrote about such things as the day she left her parents' place to work, her days as a bus tour guide, and what she felt like she would be, where she would be in 10 years. And it's just very touching. She says, I think I'll be married and have a baby. What if I'm still single? It's hard to believe when she was 16 and she wrote this kind of on a lark that at age 26, well, no, she wrote it when she was like 18 because she died when she was 26, but that was a few years ago. She would be dead in 10 years. So it just makes you think, if you had asked me, Jason, even 10 years ago, to be honest, yeah, I mean, in 10 years ago this month, I was, just waiting to find out from Jet if I was going to Japan. But if you had said 10 years ago, Jason, do you think you'll still be living in Japan in 2014? I would have said, no way, still in Japan? And I mean, if you had asked me 15 years ago what I'd be doing, I would have never guessed in a million years that I would be doing this thing and I'd be on YouTube. I mean, there was no YouTube. My life has just been really interesting and taken some very interesting turns and twists in the last, say, decade. And I don't think I could have predicted it in a letter to myself. So it's interesting. I like that idea, the time capsule idea. So I guess my question to you, if you were writing to yourself in 10 years, what would you want the person 10 years from now to know about you, and what would your be prediction? Where do you think you'll be in 10 years? 10 years from now, well, I don't want to be morbid, but I don't think I'll still be around. That's just me and things I know about myself that I don't really share with people. But I hope I am. I hope I am, because I think there's going to be some cool stuff happening in the world, and I definitely want to be around to be a part of it. Yeah. So tell me, in a comment, what do you think about yourself in 10 years? Very touching story. I think you can read it on the web too. All right, peace guys. That was Friday. I'll see you on Saturday. Thanks for watching. Bye.